After looking at the basic example in the previous video, we now have a greater understanding of the importance of BJT biasing. So for amplification, of course, we want the BJT to be operating in the forward active mode. And so to do that, we're going to quote unquote bias the transistor such that our DC levels are near the center of the load line. So very important, we want the DC levels or our Q point to be at the center of the load line. Now, if we look at the circuit that we considered in the previous example, sort of our adjusted circuit where we put that AC signal just sort of in series with our DC signal, we have a couple of potential issues here. So a couple of potential issues. The first is that our AC source is not grounded. So AC source is not grounded. And our second one that could potentially be an issue is our DC base current, which is coming from this VBB, is passing through our AC signal. So DC current in AC signal. And so that's not necessarily going to be a problem, sorry, I shouldn't say AC signal, but rather AC source. That's not necessarily going to be a problem, but there are definitely cases where that is not desirable. So what we're going to do then is we're going to look at a couple alternative ways that we can bias the BJT. The first way we're going to look at is using a single base resistor. And then after that, we're going to look at a different technique of voltage divider biasing. And so that's where we're going to spend the rest of our time in this unit focusing on. We're going to go over sort of the basics of these two methods and then work some examples to get more comfortable with them.